Well. We just can't live without a surprise with the Atlanta Falcons, man. It's just something all the time. But unfortunate news, man. Kaleb McGary has retired from the NFL at age 31. And I know you're saying, "Hi, is he 31 already?" Yes. He was a little bit older in the draft process when Terry Fontenot took him out of the University of Washington. But he's reliable, man, when it comes to being durable until last year when he suffered an ankle injury and had to have surgery, and it just went down from there because I had been asked, what's going on with Caleb McGarry? Why haven't we heard anything? Now we know. That injury just wasn't healed like it was supposed to, and he's had knee and ankle injuries throughout his career. We just never knew about it. And then you remember he missed time. I think it was 2020, his second year in the league, when he ended his season because of a heart issue. So health issues is something that bothered him throughout his career, but he played through it. 93 games with the Atlanta Falcons, 92 starts, and like I say, he was old reliable at that right tackle position. Because when it came to the run game, he was one of the better run blocking offensive tackles in the league. So durability was there, the ability was there. Now he had problems with speed rushes, we know that, but where he fit into Arthur Smith, Zach Robinson, and now would have been Kevin Stefanski's system was he's an excellent run blocker. So that's a big loss for the Atlanta Falcons, and it could swing the draft another direction that a lot of us didn't see coming. But me and my boy A1, we were looking at offensive tackle, anyway because of his age at 31, knowing that he had just 2 years left on his deal. You could draft someone to take over for him, or Jake Matthews on the other side at 34 years old. So as you look at it kind of makes sense. So look, some things happen for a reason. I believe this did. But you look at the money. $14 million is what they're going to save this year and next. He had 2 years left on his deal this year and next. And we put in some good notes as to thinking that he was going to be one of those ones they found a way out of his contract, but he gave him a way out. So 14 million is added on back to the books. And what do they do? The very first thing they do is go out and sign tackle Jawaan Taylor, and it's not a surprise. He's a veteran, so and the numbers don't justify. And PFF, gave him bad numbers all the way across the board, and we know from watching him and you know highlights and stats, he had a problem with you know false start penalties, sort of like a Elijah Wilkinson, a guy that's in Arizona who's talking crap. But the thing about him, um, I think he fits Caleb McGarry's profile to a T. 6'5", about 330, so they were about the same size. Um, he has trouble, with his feet as well. But when it comes to run blocking, I think that's where he excels. But if you look at his PFF numbers, um, overall grade was very bad at 53.3, 80th out of 89 position players, 67.3 pass blocking grade, which is better, but it's still only 49th out of 89. Run blocking grade was terrible, even though I think he could be better under Bill Callahan. I think Bill Callahan is going to be the reason why this move is going to work because I think he can put Jawaan Taylor in the position to get better after spending better of 7 seasons in Jacksonville and Kansas City. And I'm telling y'all, Jawaan Taylor, to me, it's going to be a struggle. But you got to think too. He's another guy that's had a lot of starts in this league. He's had 12 starts last year before he was benched, but overall, he never missed any time until last year. He missed a game in Kansas City in 2024, but that was probably heading to the playoffs. But 111 starts, that's something that you have to consider that the Falcons are getting a veteran who has starts up on his belt. So again, Bill Callahan coming in with the Atlanta Falcons as the offensive line coach, I think is going to help Jawaan Taylor and help this team as well. Now, as I talked about the draft, there are a lot of offensive linemen in this draft that I think the Falcons go out there in the second round. But I think about 5, 6, maybe 7 can go um, in the first round. That's just how deep the offensive line draft is in this draft. But you look at the tackle position, it's one guy that I'm looking at, and I think he'll be there, and I think he's going to be somebody you have to look out for, and that's Caleb Lomu out of the University of Utah. And there's another guy that is going to be a Utah tackle on the other side that he played with at Utah is going to be a top 10 pick. So they had two bookend offensive linemen on that team, and Caleb Lomu is one of those guys that you have to look at, but you have to look at it to me. And as I watched his tape just a little bit, because I was actually going to put him up as a draft profile, um, he's pretty athletic. He's one of those big guys that's 6'6", 313 pounds. Moves like a tight end when you talk about athleticism. Um, Excellent pass protector, which is something that you need on Michael Penix or Tua Tagovailoa's blind side, so that's a plus. He can hold his own as far as speed rushes as we talked about. But he's an athlete, a tight end like athlete. Now he does struggle a little bit in the run game, which is like I said, with Bill Callahan. But on the other hand, his agility allows him to get to the second level, allows him with the pulls, allows him with getting to the second level. So by him being fluid and blocking, whether it's running or passing, excuse me, I think he's just going to get stronger as time goes on. He's one of those guys with the right system, and I think the Falcons going to have the right system for him. He's just going to excel at the next level. So Caleb Lomu is a guy that I'm going to be looking at in pick 48 if he's still there. So now we go from defensive tackle to offensive tackle, possibly looking at that at pick 48 because of this retirement of Kaleb McGary. Because you got to remember, Jawaan Taylor only signed a 1-year deal worth up to $5 million. So I think it's 3.5 or 4, and the rest is his incentives. So they get a steal in Jawaan Taylor steal, even though I think it's just a 1-year project. But who knows? If Bill Callahan can turn this guy around, hell, Jawaan Taylor could be a tackle for us for the next 5 years until we solidify that position. But I do see the Atlanta Falcons looking at another offensive tackle in this draft at some point, mainly with the number 48 pick. But Kaleb McGary retires, and in his place, they signed Jawaan Taylor to a 1-year, $5 million deal. And a draft prospect that I would like y'all to keep an eye on is Caleb Lomu out of the University of Utah. And that's all the time I have for this video, man. But I thank y'all for tuning in. I will get back on live. I'm sorry I missed the live with A1 with the breaking news. I will get back on so we can give our thoughts as a collective. And I will holler at y'all soon, man. But before y'all get out of here, man, go check out that video and hype this video up. Let me know what y'all think. Drop them comments in the comment box. Let's debate. Let's have fun as always, man. Y'all know how we doing on Sports Machine. This your boy Antoine Smith signing off. I will holler at y'all soon, man. Peace.